What's up, Yesterland fans? I'm Neal, and welcome back to another episode of the Toys That Made Sense. On today's episode, we're going over Masters of the Universe Origins line, Wave 13. I have in hand, that's right, only 3 of them. I didn't get King Randor, and a lot of people have asked, why didn't you get King Randor? Well, you know, I just don't have that attachment to him. I already have King Randor in the last wave, so I didn't feel like I needed to get him again. But in this wave, we got 4. We got King Randor. We got Samurai here, which pretty cool. Really liking him. The Snake Trooper. I was kind of hesitant on this guy at first, but after I got him in hand and I started looking at him, I was really intrigued by him, and I was like, you know what? I'm glad I got him, because he's definitely gonna go well with the collection. And then my most favorite in this line that I really love, and I just love the detail and the artwork that goes into it, and that's gonna be Snake Tila. She is a beauty. I mean, the graphic on the card on the back that we'll get into here in a minute, and just the overall design of her, probably the best character in the line in my opinion. So with that being said, there has been a bunch of news this week with the Mattel line. We know Mattel and Hasbro, they've merged, and that's set an uproar in the community. We know Hasbro did some pretty shady stuff earlier in the week by potentially getting the Pinkertons involved and things like that with this collector and these magic cards. And I'm not going to go too much into that, but if that really happened and went down, all I can say is shame on Hasbro. Shame on them for going with their investigation agency, whoever it is, if it really is the Pinkertons or not. And then shame on that agency for performing that investigation and how they went about doing that investigation. That is not a way you treat people. You don't strong arm people to get those kind of results. If it was a legitimate IP infringement investigation and property search, which we know all these kind of investigations go on all the time throughout the world, throughout the United States, in regards to intellectual property theft, design, copyright, all of that. There are organizations that are private investigation firms that specialize in researching and investigating that type of stuff. So I'm not shocked by that investigation happening. What I'm shocked by is the technique and how the agency did it, whoever they are, if they really are the Pinkertons, like I said. And if they were, shame on them, because that's not how you do this. I'm very familiar with this industry and I'm willing to speak with anybody about it, but if that's how they conducted it, totally unprofessional. And usually by that point, when you're getting to the point of searching your product and finding your product and eventually about to get that product back into your hand or for your client's hand, usually law enforcement is involved at that point. And I can almost guarantee you 100% of the time on the investigations like that, law enforcement is always involved. So for law enforcement not to be involved, big shame on you, for the agency who conducted the investigation and the actual clients. So, and that's where I'm going to leave it. That's where my opinion is and my thoughts on it. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying that I protect Hasbro. I'm not saying I protect the YouTuber and the collector with his cards that he didn't know or did know what kind of property he had. But at the end of the day, the principle behind the investigation, if that's how it was conducted, very unprofessional for the industry. And I'm going to leave it there. But moving on, Mattel did release a beauty, and I'm going to throw it up now. Here we go. That is the release of Snake Mountain, the pre-order. It went on pre-order yesterday on Mattel Creations. It was up on Big Bad Toy Store and several other sites, Entertainment Earth, I believe, and whatnot. What a beauty. That artwork on Snake Mountain is just gorgeous, and I can't wait to get mine. Everybody knows I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan. You can clearly see it here on my wall and up on my shelves. I've got it all intertwined with my collection, and I'm just so excited, and I can't wait to get that piece eventually here, which is supposed to be released sometime in the fall. So if you haven't yet, make sure you get up there, check those sites out, and see if it's still available. As of last night, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, Big Bad Toy Store still had them in stock. So if you didn't get it on Mattel Creations, you can swing over to Big Bad Toy Store at least, and I know they had it. Now, the price originally was $79.99, and I know Big Bad Toy Store has it for $84.99, but I'm sure it's going to be coming in and out of pre-order stock on sites that have sold out, so make sure you check back daily. So, without further ado, I've talked enough. Let's get into these toys, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, here I am in studio as always, and I have got 3 out of the 4 in the wave that I just mentioned. So, starting from left to right, again, we've got Snake Trooper sitting right in the middle, the star of the show, in my opinion, Snake Tila, and then we've got Samurai. So, without further ado, let's dig in. Masters of the Universe, Snake Trooper, the slithering cyborg of the Snake Men, modern retro play. We get that snake design again on the card because obviously it's a Snake Man affiliate. We get a good placement on the sticker. I will say Mattel is getting much better at placement on these stickers, and we get the snakeskin bubble, and then obviously we get right into the card with Mattel down in the bottom, and then the action figure himself in there, the Snake Trooper. Now, this is obviously going to be affiliated to the Hordak characters. This will be one of his troopers, and bringing him in, again, like I said, I was kind of hesitant with him, but I'm actually glad I picked him up. I really like the detail in the face on the Snake Trooper here. I love those bright yellow eyes with that red little sliver there, making him look like he has those snake eyes, and the head is actually not a bad design and sculpt for it. That's what was throwing me off originally when I was looking at picking these up. But once again, like I said, once I got them in hand, I was actually kind of intrigued by it. Overall, the body's really basic. It's black. We get the Hordak symbol there on the front. We get some gold to accent and bring out the detail on the character himself. And then down here on the boots, I know it's kind of hard to see, but we get the Hordak bat wings and all that on the side of it. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if this is actually modeled after a current existing character right now in the line. It almost looks like it might be kind of a new mold. It's still the 5.5 design, but there might be some new molding and tooling going around the belt area. The crotch area definitely looks different to me, but overall, he's a pretty cool looking character. In this wave now, we get the Serpent's Sledge comic that's in the back. You can see right there off to the side, there's Samurai fighting against King Randor. I know it's hard, guys. I know you always want me to open these up, but for my collecting and nostalgia purposes of why I do this, I'm leaving this line, as of right now, still in their package or blister packs or boxes. So anyways, overall, great detail as always in this snake line design and representation of the card. Now, flipping it around back, here we go. Argumented with Horde Science, the Snake Trooper changed the simple minions to self-repairing cyborgs. So we got this picture here, which looks like Zodiac here doing something. He's beating up the snake guy here, and then in the background we've got some, looks like his soul's almost falling out of him or getting kicked out of him. So don't really understand what's going on here. This might be a comic book reference. You guys let me know down in the comments. Modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters of the Universe action figure. And then the Snake Man. I'm not going to go into reading that passage. I've done it a million times on this channel. When we review these, it's pretty much the same passage, but we do get the instructions over here. Press Horde symbol on chest, and then the armor busts open. So it's going to be kind of like a clamshell. It's going to come down like that. Press armor back to place. So that's the action and play that you get with this figure. Obviously, we get Snake Tila here, Snake Trooper, the Samurai, King Randor, all the legal mumble jumble. But overall, we got a decent looking card here. It's not one of my favorite drawing pieces, but it's definitely MOTU, and you can tell. So that's the Snake Trooper. Moving over here to Samurai. Samurai is going to be basically modeled for the most part off of Ninjor, just with a little bit different design, paint obviously in color, but it's a nice, I like that they went with the white, and then obviously with Ninjor, he's in the black, so it kind of sets off that good and evil, you know, black versus white sort of thing. Yeah, pretty cool altogether. Now, we don't get the Snake Men sticker on here, so I'm assuming he really wasn't maybe in with the snake line. I don't know. Obviously, we're past a stage if these were in comic books or later toys, getting into the 80s, or if these are into other areas of MOTU later on, with the 2000 line or whatnot and so forth and so on. I was out of it by that point, but these three characters obviously stood out to me the most, so I was really intrigued by them, so I wanted to make sure I got them. We get some writing here on his chest piece. Don't know what that means, if it is real writing or if that's just design. He's accented with some beautiful blue cuffs here. We get the, I like the gray on the loincloth that makes it kind of pop a little bit with the blue belt above. And then that's pretty much it for him. You get his weapon there in the back, which appears to be the bow and arrow, and then you get a sword. And I forgot to mention over here on the Snake Trooper, you're getting some kind of horde shield and his staff, so, which is red and solid in color. I'm sure you can go up and research and actually see what they look like. But again, you're getting the same comic book in here. Obviously great placement and representation on the card. Here, the Honorable Ninja Warrior with Bushido joins the heroic warriors of Eternia in their battle against evil. And here he is fighting against this snake creature here. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know who these guys are here, so please put it down in the comments who he's fighting here. Clearly he has like a claw and he's part snake or lizard, but he's a very cool character, and I'm wondering if he's coming down the line at some point. Like how he's swinging in there with his nunchuck and he's got his sword and he's ready to attack. Clearly here we see what he's armed with. Like I said, he's got his nunchucks, his bow and arrow, and his sword, and you can twist him into full battle positions. So I'm assuming maybe I don't think he's spring-loaded, but you can pose him however you want. All the lingo mumble jumble, obviously the characters in the line. And then moving into the star of the show, like I said, Snake Teela. Probably my favorite out of this because I just love the design, and I love how they accent it with those black lines. If you can see there, I think that just makes her pop. We see the scales on her thighs there, and then we see like that undertone belly of what a snake looks like. Just really, really cool. And overall, a very cool design in that face. So very, very cool. You get her staff, and it looks like a sword. There's no shield for her on this one, but she's a beautiful looking character, and I was so stoked to finally get her. And I hope you guys like this line and you go out and get it as well, if that's what you choose to do. Get the same comic in it, all the same stuff on the front. Flipping it around, let's get right into her graphic and her little story here. King Hiss used ancient magic to transform Teela into the slithering slave. So obviously this is a bad Teela. And then we can see King Hiss here in the back, like he's telling her what to do. You see his little spirit snake, whatever you want to call it, power coming after or driving her towards He-Man, and He-Man's over here ready. He's ready to attack. Again, I did not pick up the snake He-Man because I like the body and the design. I just don't like that head that they gave us. So for me, it was a pass. But anyways, here we go. We got the instructions on put sword of serpent into hand and then twist into a powerful battle position. That's basically it. That's the action that you're getting, all the legal mumble jumble, and again, the characters in the line. So guys, let me know what you think. Did you like Wave 13? Do you like Wave 13? Are you picking up Wave 13 to add to your collection? Send those comments down in the comments section, guys. And as always, I appreciate you tuning into my channel. Make sure to share this video amongst the toy community. Make sure to tag your friends in it. And as always, guys, I'll see you in Yesterland.